welcome to Beer League in the Get Off My Lawn studios. And this is our second episode, I think, in the for the new year. Isn't that true, Greg?
Yeah, there's been a lot that's happened here in the past week. Sorry, we've been gone, everybody. We've been digging out from ice and just people without
ice
power.
Yeah. It's terrible. I mean, I'm still, I was out in the baseball field today for baseball practice, and there was ice all over the place.
Yeah, you guys are crazy for starting in February. You started in January.
I got the sniffles already. Listen, sniffles again. I got the sniffles. I'm sorry. I shouldn't be doing that.
Thanks for pointing that out.
Yeah, so, I mean, did you make it? You made out okay, though, during the snowpocalypse?
Yeah, we were lucky. We didn't have any real issues. We opened up the inn and let the mother-in-law come over.
Oh, that's nice of you.
We invited people that were without power from Nashville and Brentwood.
Oh, okay.
But Franklin did pretty good.
I know. I still have a friend of mine is still out with power. Go crazy, right?
Well, they've created a commission to look into this.
Yeah, I think so. That's for sure. Well, I know. I mean, I'm thinking kids were out of school for a week. I mean, come on, man.
Some people are still out.
I know. Williamson County is out too, right? Williamson County's out.
What are you going to do, man?
Ah, boy. Anyway, well, we have a great guest today. We have Kevin Hagan. Where's the claps? There's the claps.
I'll clap for myself.
There we go. I'm with you, Kevin.
Welcome to Beer League.
Speaking about that,
Audience of one.
You were saying earlier that you have power outage for a week, huh?
8 days.
Oh my God!
Got it back Saturday night, 8:30. Pulled in, down the street, saw the house, totally dark. I'd turned all the breakers off. I'm like, oh, it's still out. And then I turned the corner on the driveway. I saw one light, shining on the driveway. I was like, yeah, we're back.
Oh, nice. Well, I know, we had this podcast set up for last week, and you were like, nope, can't get out of the house, can't get out of nowhere, man.
No.
So, and thank you for adjusting.
Well, I did want to shout. I wanted to, I knew I wasn't going to look as good as Tom Murphy, but
Murphy's, he was good. He was good. Well, you know what though, you're holding yourself well too. So I would go, Kev. Thank you, buddy. You. Well, Kevin here is the president of GNASH. GNASH. If people out there go, what is a GNASH? Well, that's why Kev's here to tell us about what GNASH is and everything. Usually, again, our podcast is about youth sports. And what better to have the president of GNASH on the show here? I know, Greg, we always talked about this, about, what's our next direction of our kids at our age level. And we're still, like Greg said earlier, he's still learning. We're all learning. I don't know. I mean, we're drinking out of a fire hose here. What next step will go? Because our kids will be playing beer league later on in life. So this is it.
Yeah.
So Kevin, tell us a little bit about yourself first, about where you're from and how you got to right now, and then let's talk a little bit about GNASH.
Absolutely. So, grew up in Kentucky.
Okay.
Huge Kentucky, basketball fan. Kind of hard to be a Kentucky football fan.
Hey.
Actually,
sorry, guys.
It's getting harder to be a Kentucky basketball fan right now. Yeah, I know your daughter goes to
she
goes
does.
to University of Kentucky.
She's excited.
So I grew up in Kentucky. My mother grew up here in Nashville.
Okay.
So and that's before Nashville became Nashville as we know it. And my grandparents had a farm at the corner of Nippers Corner and Old Hickory Boulevard. So this is where we came to the country, to see my grandparents. But my mother and her brothers had graduated from Lipscomb High School and Lipscomb University. When I graduated, I went to Center College, which is a Division III school in Danville, Kentucky. Played a year of football there, and then very, very small town. I'd come from a very small town.
Are you like him? Maybe little Bundy, little Al Bundy, 4 touchdowns.
Well, I think Al played where Youngstown State or something like
Polk
that.
High. He went to Polk High.
Yeah, a little bit bigger. Transferred down here to Lipscomb. David Lipscomb graduated from there. Met my wife here in Nashville and been down here longer than I was in Kentucky. So, got into. So I am in the insurance industry. I work for a large insurance broker out of Texas, and it's you have personal lines insurance, and you have commercial insurance, which is business. I run the commercial side of the agency. So
nice, and you've been here for, like you said, longer than
a long time.
So you've seen a lot of changes then.
I've seen a lot of changes.
Oh boy.
I've seen a lot of changes.
So all right. So that's your story here. You came here. You're in Nashville. Now you and your wife have some children. They have 3 children.
3 boys.
Oh, 3. Oh boy, there you go. I'm one of 3 boys too myself. So it's
there's nothing better, right?
yeah. I mean, I was the youngest, so I got my butt kicked the whole time.
Oh,
Let's
man.
be honest. I mean, and I was a goalie, so my brother would always go, "You're playing goal," and they would just shoot pucks at me. So I'm like, "Okay, I'm a goalie." So that's how I
Right.
worked at that. But so now you have 3 boys. They started loving hockey, right? Is that what this whole happened?
Yeah, you asked me if I played hockey growing up. I mean, look, I grew up on a farm in Kentucky, playing football, basketball, golf, baseball. My uncle had a tabletop hockey table
Oh, the rod hockey games.
that my grandmother kept in her closet. So whenever I'd go over there and play, she'd bring out the little tabletop hockey.
What teams? What teams were they?
Interestingly enough, I remember it was either the Islanders or the Yankee. I mean,
Okay,
the Islanders or the Rangers.
Okay.
And I can't remember who the other team. It may have been Islanders and Rangers, but anyway.
It might have been Flyers too, because a lot of times
Could have been
Islanders
Flyers, yeah.
Flyers were on those.
Could have been
games.
Flyers, yeah. But I was working for a company. It's now known as Willis Towers Watson, and in '97, they were headquartered here. Their global headquarters was here. And I remember the first year of the Predators, during their expansion year, we had seats down on the glass. We had 4 seats down on the glass. And so I'd taken one of our clients, and it was when Gretzky was with the Rangers.
Oh, boy, okay.
And I knew nothing about hockey, nothing. And after the game, I'm like, yeah, man, that was pretty fun. Now, I had gone to some Nashville Knights games at the old municipal auditorium,
But were you sitting down low?
Back then, it didn't really matter.
Okay.
They were rowdy.
They
So
were.
that's where it started.
Yeah,
right?
you were there for the fights, and you were
Yeah.
there for everything. It was it was a lot of fun. I mean, they did it really well. And then when the Predators came, it was much more formal and corporate and everything. But I remember after the game, I'm like, yeah, man. This Gretzky guy. What's the big deal about Gretzky? He didn't even score.
Ugh.
And the guy said, he was like, dude. He had 5 points, he had 5 assists. I'm like, what does that mean? And then
But you knew Fang Finger then, right? You had to do the Fang Finger.
Exactly. So
Sorry.
but I didn't really go to games until when my oldest son was born in '99, and in '03 or '02, I took him to a game, and we sat there on the glass, and he just became totally enamored with the mascot Nash. And he said, Dad, I just want to, I want to play hockey with Nash. And so I did some research, and A Game and Centennial both had learn to skate hockey programs, but Centennial was closer to our house. So I've got a picture of him still. He's in his winter coat, blue jeans, and figure skates. Because at the time they didn't have rental hockey skates.
Oh, wow, okay.
And so from there, I got him into learn to skate program. We ended up going to A Game for their first little house league when he was 4. You had to be 4 to play house league hockey. And that's literally all he ever wanted to do was play hockey. And but it all goes back to Nash, the mascot, who kind of drew him in. The result was, both of his brothers wanted to play hockey. We ended up getting season tickets. And for I think 6 years. So we started out in 102. We moved to 101. There was a guy named Dan Baccaro, who's now in commercial real estate, who was our ticket sales guy.
Okay.
Best salesman I've ever been around. And we moved from 102 to 101. And then we moved into 116. Right, literally, we had the seats against the glass behind the Predators bench.
Oh, wow.
For about 5 or 6 years. And so the boys kind of grew up. Our youngest, Seth, he would fall asleep every night. My wife would end up holding him. And you'd end up having to watch the game on the Jumbotron because you couldn't see because they were great novelty seats, though, for clients because it gave you more of an in-game experience. And, of course, at the time, Pecorine was the backup goalie.
Okay.
So the boys he would give them Gatorade gum and, just talk to him during the game and stuff. And during shootouts, I could see Trotz's shootout card before anybody. I would text people and go, it's going to be, these 3 players. And they go, how do you know that?
Yeah, that's
right?
cool.
But then, as the boys got closer to, high school hockey, We started thinking about that more than we did the house league and travel.
Okay. Well, just to let everybody know out there, GNASH is the high school hockey league.
Greater Nashville Area Scholastic Hockey is the league, and we're kind of the TSSAA of high school hockey.
Okay.
We're the only sport that we govern, though.
Yeah. Okay. Well, see, that's what I wanted to say here too.
Yeah.
GNASH, because at first, like, well, what is a GNASH?
It's really, really good acronym work.
Yeah, that was
to spell Nash.
Yeah.
You couldn't wait to do that one.
Exactly.
Were you the one that came up with that?
No. It had been done. I think, when you go back to the origin of high school hockey, it goes back pretty far.
Yeah.
And there's a guy, John Holmes, who was the commissioner of the high school league for probably 15 years or more. And you had teams like the Metro Jets. I don't know that it was as much like individual high schools as much as it was high school players that would get together and play on teams.
Okay.
But out of that comes what this version or iteration of high school hockey.
Nice. Well, I mean, excuse me. High school hockey up in New York is like you said, it's kind of different too. It's not sanctioned either on Long Island, that's for sure. Tell me a little bit about, like, how does a school get a team? Because I know we talked earlier about, me and Greg were saying his kid goes to a school and they don't have enough kids. So
Right.
what is that line to have a kid on a team or a kid that's going to be on another team? How does that work?
So it's very organic, right?
Okay.
We were just talking about this earlier. It's like a high school version of club hockey.
Mm-hmm.
Some athletic departments are involved. Others have no involvement whatsoever. Our bylaws do allow for school oversight and approval and authorization. It's typically a kind of a ground roots effort on the part of the parents who have students that want to play, or children who want to play hockey, and you have to get enough people together to either have your own school team or enter the co-op process, which has evolved from a 2-school co-op to now we do 3-school tri-ops.
Okay.
And it's all based on you have to have enough kids to play, right? Have enough players to play.
And when is the deadline for getting that set up for like the next season?
We start the process as soon as the season ends. You can begin to form your co-op, and you create what's called, or you complete what's called an intent to co-op form. Now, technically, each team, if you're a co-op, each team ceases to exist at the end of the season.
Mm-hmm.
So you either have to renew your existing co-op, or schools are free to go create their own co-ops, which can create a little bit of a awkward political environment if you've had schools that have been together for a while. Typically, we don't see a lot of movement. Once schools get together, they typically want to have a continuum where they stay together, but it's not.
You don't want it to be like NIL.
Yeah, exactly.
No, not at all.
Just 19-0, 20-0.
People are changing teams mid-season or holding out. The reason I ask is because my son goes to BGA, and they're a school that has 5 or 6 players, and they've got some good players, but they've got a rule that I'm going to have to work on about having half a team. So how many do you have to have a co-op? Is it 9 players?
I think technically you have to have 12 players to create a team. I think 12 is the number, but we would probably never approve a team that only had 12 players.
Bunch of Iron Men.
You could do it, though.
So-
this men's league does that. Beer league does that.
Yeah.
Anybody who's out there thinking about going to BGA, come on, let's get this BGA
Get that
team
going.
And
We got to get Matt McAtee back here. Make sure he gets involved. Matt,
this
you're out
one's
there.
going
You
out to
listen.
you, Matt. We're going to start
Get
some emails
your
here.
son here.
Yeah.
But yeah, you say you start at the end of this season, which this season's about to be in the playoffs.
Yeah.
Tonight's the last night of regular season play, and the playoffs start tomorrow night.
And when I was looking up when to see the championship games for the Predators Cup and the Himes Cup.
What's the difference between the Heinz Cup and the Predators Cup? What is that?
So, and every year is a little bit different, but we flight the teams. So you do round robin play, and then you either go into the higher bracket. The top teams go into the higher bracket. The lower teams go into the lower bracket. The Predators Cup is the higher teams. The Hind Cup is the lower teams.
And that was one thing I was curious about is when I think there might have used to been divisions like upper and a lower, but now it's more fluid, but there's still kind of a way to make it competitive. How does that work?
Every year changes. And so we've had years where we literally have started out in 2 flights, and then you have like a little round robin playoff, and the bottom teams from here go down and the top teams from here go up.
So like soccer.
Like soccer.
Like soccer.
Yeah,
There you
exactly.
go. It's like soccer.
Exactly.
Relegation.
Relegation,
Yeah.
that's right.
There it is.
We have had some years where we had hockey relegation.
Wow.
Yeah, I think what happens there is that, I'm a big fan of everybody getting the chance to play everybody, right? Now, there's a school of thought that says, does your best team really need to be playing your worst team? Because typically every year we have a lot of disparity between the best team and the worst team. But it's still fun to play some of these schools, right? And it's just one game. But we do, again, every year we vote on what the league is going to look like, the league format's going to look like. And the good thing about GNASH is that at the end of the day, we do have an executive board, but at the end of the day, the league is run by the member schools or the member teams, because they actually end up getting the final vote. And in a lot of situations, whether it's eligibility or hardship waivers and things like that, the executive boards and the executive committees can make recommendations, but the full board can always overturn those decisions, and they typically do.
Well, how did you get involved in GNASH? I mean, we got all this stuff.
Yeah.
We know what GNASH is, but how did all of a sudden now you're the president?
So my oldest son, Sean, so I've got 3 boys, Sean, Sam, and Seth.
What a good name.
Yeah, 3 S's. Yeah. So when my oldest son, Sean, was in the 7th grade, the team, the school where he went, they had a JV team. And Rich Moline, who at the time was the coach, and now Rich is the vice president of GNASH. Rich has always been a big advocate of player development and having a JV league or having strong JV teams. And Sean started playing JV for Rich, and we started looking at what would high school look like. And to your question about co-ops, most co-ops are going to be U18, USA Hockey U18 teams, and so your roster is going to be capped at 20, because in almost every situation that I'm familiar with over the length of time that I've been doing this, your co-op teams are going to be subsidized by your really, really talented 8th graders. And they're going to be some of your better players, some of your better skill players, because they're coming out of the travel.
Yeah.
So when Sean was in 8th grade, he played high school hockey, and so I remember there was, I think he was in maybe 9th or 10th grade. I got a phone call from a friend of mine saying, hey, and I was telling you earlier, we typically don't have a lot of turnover on the board because we just don't have a lot of people that want to run for a board position within GNASH. And the president at the time, or the vice president at the time, back then, you would rotate, you'd go from vice president to president and then he needed a vice president to come in for a year, and he was like, will you run? And I'm like, well, I guess, tell me what the pros and cons are. Oh, there are no cons, it's all pros, right? And
Right.
I was a pretty big sucker for that. And so I joined as the vice president, and then within the next year became the president, and really didn't know a whole lot about the organization. And then I became the president, pro tem or whatever. And I was kind of like, I just now really feel like I understand what high school hockey's all about. And the vice president position came open again, and so I became the vice president. And so I've been vice president like 2 or 3 times.
Oh, wow.
Like
Yeah.
Putin.
Yeah, I can't seem to get out of here. We switched a few years ago to where terms are now 2-year terms, and you have to be elected. You don't just automatically go from vice president to president. So I was vice president, and then John Williams rolled off, and I became the president, and Rich Moline's now the vice president. So
How many people are on the board with you?
So we have president, we have vice president, we have commissioner, we have coach liaison, we have treasurer, we have secretary, and we have registrar. So we have 7.
Okay.
And then we have 1 member who's technically not a board member,
But he's got a lot of
and then we have scheduler.
Okay,
Scheduler. So we have
okay.
8. Yeah. So we have 8 board members.
Well, that's kind of cool too, to schedule us. So, let's talk a little bit about scheduling. how do you determine what team gets to play in what arena and time frames? Because that's a lot of times like, oh damn it, we're at 10 o'clock at night here. What the hell, all the time.
Yeah.
How does that determine? How do you determine that?
Yeah, we try to be as objective as we can, and it's really not about, we are limited in the amount of ice we can get, and we're limited in the time slots. So Gary Anderson, who's our scheduler, does a really good job of trying to balance the league. Now, we have some schools, like for years, Mount Juliet has practiced at like 6 a.m. at Centennial, but
wow.
that's voluntary, right? NBA likes the 4:30 afternoon slot at Centennial because it's, close to their campus. Mm-hmm. We try to look at, the two Ford centers. We do use Gary Force Arena down in Nolensville, and of course Centennial, and we try to schedule by geography. Okay. Right? We try to get people as close to the rink, to their school.
So
as
Gary
we
Force now
can.
is that arena is part of this too now. Huh?
Limited use, but yeah, we do use Gary Force.
Okay,
Yeah,
I didn't know that. Oh, well,
yeah,
that's good.
And we try to rotate. I mean, like if you may have an early practice and then a late practice and then an early we try to be fair about it.
What's the earliest or the latest that you have a practice that schools want?
Yeah, I think there's that early block at Centennial that, again, Mount Juliet wanted that for years. I want to say 4:45, 5 o'clock is probably about the earliest, because you want the kids to be able to get out of school and get to the rink in a safe kind of environment. I don't think we have anybody practicing after 10:30 at night.
Okay.
So.
Well, I know, back to my other
midnight hockey.
Midnight hockey. Back in my day.
About midnight hockey.
Yeah, back in my day. Yeah, we had our school. We had 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock in the morning practices.
Yeah.
We're out Friday night, Saturday nights, coming into those practices. You're like, come on, really?
That's what you told your parents.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah, I'm a hockey practice.
Yeah. Well, we missed a lot.
It's rough, but we've talked to some coaches and stuff, and on this podcast, the ice is hard to get, and you only have one practice, right?
So USA Hockey has a formula that they like for touches, right? Games to practice ratio.
Yeah.
We try to adhere to that as much as we can, but again, we're limited in the amount of ice that is available. Right, the more popular hockey has become, especially with the different travel teams, we try to balance the touches, the games with the practices. I think we do a pretty good job. We are creative where we can be.
Nice.
We do, again. I forgot we do have Clarksville too. So we've got Clarksville that we try to use that some.
Do you okay? Yeah. What about games there too, or just practice?
We've had a few games, especially early in the year. The problem is now. Look, I grew up where I didn't grow up in Nashville where I just had to drive across town to play other teams. Most of the teams I played in football and basketball, it was you'd go to the next county or 2 counties over, and you take a team bus. High school hockey. There's no team bus, so you're asking teenagers to drive.
Well, mom and dad to still drive.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. I know you said earlier too when we talked a little bit. Like when I moved here, 2010, there was an A game. A game was still open. Now A game. You mentioned to me earlier that you were in the march. The march.
I was in the march. I was in the Save A Game march. We marched from Cool Springs Galleria down to A Game, holding up these signs. I told you I've still got a Save A Game sign.
That's great.
In my closet at home. The thing about A Game that a lot of people don't understand and realize is that we were able to do so much with 4 sheets of ice.
Yeah.
Right.
Oh,
we had 2 sheets at Centennial, and that was the Flyers and the Ice Tigers, and that was all the players from
North
Nashville proper, Gallatin, Hendersonville, and then you had A Game, which was everybody from South Nashville, Brentwood, and Williamson County. Mm-hmm. And we lived out there. I mean, families literally lived out there, and I'm sure that the North Nashville families lived at Centennial, but our boys would be in Tim McAllister's office and JP's office in the big racing recliner that they had, just playing video games and hanging out. And you'd come out there in the afternoon and you'd spend the whole evening out there between your skating lessons and practice, and we would eat dinner out there sometimes at the concession stand. And so, you mentioned going to high school games out there.
Yeah.
Where they used to charge admission, and they would block out the glass.
Yeah, they blocked the glass out, and there was police officers.
I'm
like,
there.
what I came out, what the hell's going on
Hey
here?
man, games could get rowdy,
They
right?
did get rowdy. I was pretty happy with what I was watching.
Well, and I think, and again, I may misspeak a few times here because my memory gets a little bit foggy. It's the CO2 from my
exactly.
gas. Yeah,
remember, you can't do that in the house. He told us a story earlier. He's like, I got the CO2 heater and I left it in the house. I'm like, not good idea.
Yeah, my little dog passed out. I'm like, what's wrong with the dog? They used to use canaries in coal mines, right?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I had my little dog.
Your little dog. Oh, jeez.
Yeah, don't tell this to my family.
No.
But it would get rowdy out there, and it was fun. But we were able to put on, a lot of good games on those 4 sheets of ice back then, and it was always kind of the interesting. There'd be no admission if the games were at Centennial, but there would be admission if the games were at A game. But it was a privately owned rink, right?
Yeah.
So. And if you go to any high school football game or basketball game, you're paying to get
baseball
in.
Too now.
Baseball too
now
yeah.
too. I was like, what's going on?
Are you going to charge for people to come to your middle school game at the JV game? How much are you going to charge for parking there?
I'm just.
Hey, listen, the product that's about to go on the field for
Thank you.
25 roster.
Get some PSLs.
You exactly should. A 25-man roster. It's pretty steep, that's for sure.
It is crazy that you have to pay for these things now.
But back then, like you've got your Centennial Cougars.
Sport in my high school.
Yeah.
My daughter went there.
Yeah, I mean, just about every one of those schools, Centennial, Independence, Ravenwood, Brentwood, Franklin, they all had their own, scholastic team. You would never think that one of those schools would ever end up being in a co-op. And so when A game shut down, people don't realize what happened to youth hockey when it shut down. Ford, Antioch opened, and Bellevue opened pretty soon after that. But I think a lot of those Williamson County families had to make a decision: do we want to drive to the Fords or Centennial, or if our child wants to play lacrosse, which is or football or baseball, let's just kind of push them toward that. I really think that was 2014, 2015, and I really don't think you saw the impact when it comes to the teams and kind of the players on the ice until about 2 seasons ago, maybe 3 seasons ago.
Well, I kind of noticed that, my sons were going to be going to Centennial, and it just seems like past couple of years, my daughter went there. There was a full Centennial team, and they were good too. I had a really good goalie. I remember the goalie was excellent. I think they won one of the cups. Yeah, he was really good. And
I think he just committed to MTSU.
He did, right? Mm-hmm. A really good goalie, that kid. And it was just all Centennial. Now I'm going because my kid played the middle school hockey, and I'm going, well, he's not going to go to that school. He's not going to go to that school. He's not going. Are there enough kids? And that's why I'm kind of like, wow. I asked you that question earlier.
My advice would be start to get to know other hockey players that are your son's travel teammates or just classmates.
Yeah. Because
there may be some that want to play in the JV league for a year or two, or just learn how to skate.
So that was one question. JV, how's that work currently?
So right now, the Predators control the JV league, I think.
Well, that's the middle school? The middle school league to 8th grade?
No, isn't there JV high school? Is there any JV high school, or is it just middle school?
It's just
middle school.
I don't know much about the JV league.
It's the middle school league. So that's what. So 6 to 8th grade is the JV, and then you'll have varsity kids in 9th grade, 10th grade, and that's. It's not separated as JV and varsity up in high schools.
Yeah, that's what I was getting at. Like it used to be, you would have maybe 10 years ago, there would be 2 teams. Mm-hmm. Like maybe Franklin Raven would have 80 kids try out. They could put 2 teams. They have a JV team, and then the JV team might play in the lower division. Mm-hmm. But there's no formal JV program in high school now.
That is correct. there is a JV league. It's just not controlled by GNASH.
Yeah, it's about with the Preds, and it's a spring hockey. It's
That's
a spring
right.
hockey.
Yeah, and that sounds like that's a good place to, start planning what you're going to do if you're going to have to co-op or try out.
Exactly. Yeah, my advice would be get to know as many of your sons or daughters, travel teammates and friends that want to be on a high school team, and start to develop those relationships and start to try to plan for the future.
Well, yeah. I mean, Centennial is playing with Independence, right?
That really.
So maybe we get BGA in there.
There you go. Let's
got
do
a high
this.
school team, huh?
There we go. We can do that.
Start
right?
covering it. Start
I'm
streaming
gonna
it.
have to get involved again. Oh God.
Yeah, he's trying to get out of hockey, and this
Hockey and
podcast
baseball and
we're pulling him back
Hey, he's
in.
Al
back in.
Pacino.
There we
Yeah,
go.
the Godfather.
Speaking about that, did you guys see the outdoor game the other night?
The Penn State, Michigan
no,
State
no,
game.
the NHL game, the Tampa Bay Lightning versus the Bruins.
Yeah.
Did you see that outfit that John Cooper was wearing? He was Tony Montana. That thing. That was one hell of an outfit, right? He had his chest hair hanging out. He had the lightning bolt thing in there. I'm like, what's he doing?
Cold too.
I was cold for him.
Cooper was wearing that?
Cooper, he
wow.
looked like Tony Montana.
Well,
And don't Google Tony Montana, okay, people? But yeah, no, he looked out there, and I tell you what, they did a really great job, Tampa, this year. Doing that stadium. The Tampa Bay Lightning comes in the Tampa Bay Buccaneers old throwback jerseys, and the Boston Bruins came in with the old Pirates and the way they are, the way they look.
Did you see that they were Patriots, right?
Patriots,
not
yeah.
Pirates. They didn't show up. That
Pirates.
doesn't make sense.
Well,
they all came off the bus.
Yeah, looking like that.
1800s,
yeah.
18th century garb. That was really a nice
Pirates, whatever. I don't care.
Pirates, Patriots. What's the difference?
Yeah, you know what? Baseball. We're in baseball now.
No, we're gonna stay on hockey until at least March.
Until it's March. So it's all over. But our season's almost over.
Yeah,
You know that. We got a couple more weeks. I guess this in February is it all over.
It's playoff time, right? So
Well, no, for us.
yeah, well, playoffs for the travel.
And there's playoffs
Middle
for
school
GNASH. How long does that last?
it'll last several weeks. We try to be through by the end of February. We want to be done by the end of February. I think that we may have a scenario where we have to play a game or two in March, depending on the weather.
Okay.
We lost a week last week, but I think we're going to be okay.
Well, let me ask you this, because this is a question people have been kicking around. There was talk about spring hockey for high school.
Ooh.
What's the deal with that? Were people thinking that would help with ice time, or why is that being proposed?
I'm not really sure what the genesis was there. We did a survey. We did a pretty extensive survey of the league, just among the members of what do they really want out of high school hockey. I think the overwhelming response was we like it the way it is.
Yeah, I know, I do too.
And I think that the problem with a spring league is it dilutes, to me, the value of having a full season of hockey that coincides. The thing about high school hockey is it runs a concurrent season with every other, college hockey league, professional hockey league, just like high school football tracks NFL and college football, high school basketball tracks NBA. I mean, now the NBA league's crazy, but high school basketball starts in the winter and goes from past New Year's into, a different year. So we're not any different than any other high school sport when it comes to when our sport is played. I think the problem with a condensed 6-week season is you've got baseball, you've got lacrosse, you've got decisions that have to be made, and I just don't. I think it would be the end of high school hockey as people know it.
Yeah.
And my boys all played travel hockey, and it doesn't really matter if you're playing house league, single A, triple A. When you go on the road, or even when you have teams come in, there is nothing like a Terry Crisp rink packed to the gills with
School pride.
playing in front of your friends, wearing your school jersey,
School pride, that's it.
crowd going crazy, kids banging on the glass, which we don't advocate.
Oh yeah.
But I mean, there's nothing. I mean, there is nothing
Could knock
like
it out.
Yeah.
I actually knocked out some glass up there at Bellevue
Did you
a couple
really?
weeks. It had already, I was pretty mad. No, there was a big hit, and one of our big players just slammed in on offense, and it. And
Yeah.
I was like, "Oh, this is coming out." I tried to pop it back in.
Oh, that's hilarious.
I popped it out, and it turns out that it had popped out before, and it has popped out since.
Oh,
and
boy, you broke it.
People will know
So-
I was the middleman.
Greg
But here's
broke
I saved people. I think I saved some lives because if that glass comes out on the players, I popped it out. I was on the other side of the ice.
Okay.
They blew it dead, and it took them a while to fix it too.
Yeah.
But you got to be careful with
Yeah.
that, and
It hurts.
people were upset that they couldn't figure out how to fix
Well,
it.
But think about this. What did Bruce Springsteen write a song about? Right, Glory Days, playing baseball in high school.
Yep.
You ask anybody that's played high school hockey, that has played travel hockey, what do you remember? Do you remember that game against Little Caesars in Detroit, or do you remember that game that you played against whoever your rival was? Right, when you got to wear your school jersey in front of your friends and the crowd was going crazy.
Yep.
That's what you play for.
Absolutely.
Right?
It's pride.
That's
School
what you play
pride.
for.
School pride is huge. I think maybe, if they wanted to change it, do they think that they're losing players to travel sports at all? Or,
I think it's all about ice.
yeah.
I think it's just all about ice. I think there's a difference between availability and availability that's really utilizable, or the ability to utilize the ice you're given. Right. We just have more people wanting to rent ice from all the different rinks. You look at a place like Nashville versus a place like St. Louis or a place like Dallas. It has a lot more sheets of ice than we do, right? We're the victim of not having a lot of rinks here.
So you're saying, hey, Greg,
It's time for the public service announcement.
there you go. This is the public service announcement. Greg,
It's
go
time
ahead.
to email Ken Moore.
Kenny
Ken
Moore.
Moore at Franklin.
.gov. Is
Yeah,
it?
.gov.
Yeah.
.gov.
Yeah, email him about a rink. I think they might have.
A couple people have already. I talked to somebody else, and they said they emailed them. They said they're working on it.
Keep going because they're going to have an announcement here before too long.
Well, I think the problem is that the amount of time it takes to get a rink up and going, like a really good rink, and we're now 12 years from a game. I mean, that doesn't even sound real to me. When I say
amazing.
that, it's almost like surreal to say a game's been down over 10 years.
That's crazy.
I know.
Because I moved here during that time, and I picked this area because I still was playing hockey.
Yeah.
And I'm like, this is near a hockey rink. Perfect. There we go. So I still was playing.
Well, is that one of the issues with if you could get 2 practices? You said there's USA Hockey, the other guidelines. Would you want to have 2 practices? Because one of the complaints that I hear is that it can be a little bit, and Tom said it, a little bit of one-on-one, and you've got your AAA guys that are just kind of going crazy and racking up their stats. And if you had 2 practices, you might give them more time to try to develop a system and keep up. And so it's not just, a disparity
End-to-end.
between
Yeah.
AAA guys showing off.
Well, yeah, I think, again, it kind of comes down to how much time do you have, right? I think if you're a coach and you're a player, if you're going to invest your time and energy into being part of a team, right, you want to be able to show up at a rink and have at least an hour, maybe an hour and 15 minutes or so. When you guys were playing high school sports, how long did your basketball or football or baseball practices? They didn't last 45 minutes.
No.
Right?
No, it was
I
2
mean,
hours.
Yeah.
2 hours.
I mean, to your point, when you're playing high school hockey, and then this is again,
there you go.
Ted Knight. There's the Ted Knight hat. I just saw the Ted Knight hat.
First person that's gotten there.
There you go.
It's been sitting there for a year.
But the thing about it, I mean, so let's take the player who's maybe the 20th player on the roster, right? Plays house league, wants to play on the school team, makes the team. How often does he get out on the ice with a AAA kid, right?
Yeah.
And the AAA kids, I think, love being out there with those kids to help them and encourage them. I think what Tom might be trying to say is that you want to have an environment where you can take both ends of the spectrum, bring them together, create a team, a true team environment, so that the product on the ice is a legitimate product, right? And so these players can play and contribute. And I know you get a lot of questions probably about, well, it's a pay to play league, right? The parents still pay it versus a high school sport where it usually doesn't cost you anything to play. So there's the economics of high school hockey. If I'm paying for Timmy to play, I want Timmy to play. I don't want Timmy to ride the pine. I don't want Timmy to get scratched every night, right? Well, so
healthy scratch is not good, dude. Not good.
Yeah, but what I have seen is that when it works and it works really well, everybody's bought in. Both ends of the spectrum love being on that same team, and practices can run well and be productive.
Do you think there's too many teams out there in this league or no? Because the reason why I say that, because it's like, you can do this, and there's, every sport there's cuts.
Right.
There's cuts. So you're like, all right, maybe little Timmy didn't make it this year. Maybe he's going to work his tail off to do it next year. And, now it's almost like, no, we'll take him. We'll take little Timmy, even though little Timmy's going to be on the fourth line. He's got a minute shifts or whatever during the game. Do you see that there is too many teams out there diluting the talent? Not because you say, okay, there's a travel kid or a AAA kid or whatever that is. You should have the same, availability for the house leaguer or the kid that just wants to play hockey for a school. Right. I get that. But let's call it out. On football game teams that we were on, we cut kids. Yeah, unfortunately, you cut kids. Baseball, we cut kids. Basketball, we cut kids. Hockey, it's but yes, it is a club thing. But what do you think?
No, I don't think there are too many teams.
Okay.
I think what there's room for is a really true, robust JV developmental league, where you can enter as a 6th, 7th, 8th grader. Learn and I can name boys and girls that I have literally watched come into a team starting as a 7th grader, and by the time they're freshmen, maybe they make the roster. They don't play a lot of minutes, but by the time they're seniors and juniors, I mean, they are part of the core part of the team, right? And that's no different than football or baseball or basketball.
Exactly. Yeah.
I think if we had a really strong, robust JV league that would feed into the high school league, that would set you up for success. I think the problem that we have, and the reason that you're probably asking about the numbers, is we need more players.
Yeah, we do.
We need more players at a younger age, or we need more players who can start at an older age and still have 5 or more years to develop.
I think the grassroots got to get back into it.
Got to get back into it.
How would you do that? What would your about getting grassroots? What would you do?
So if I look around and I think MBA, which is a private school, and Brentwood Academy, which is a private school. At Brentwood Academy, you have to play a sport. I think there's some kind of you have to be on a team at Brentwood Academy.
Wow,
that's true. Yeah,
that's cool.
Yeah. I mean, when my boys were in 9th, 10th grade, they were trying to recruit players who are fellow students who weren't playing a school sport to at least come out and try to play hockey and try to make the team, right? I think if it were me, I would look around in the 7th grade and look at players who aren't playing. Well, the other thing too is that high school sports has gotten so competitive that you might, if you grew up in a smaller location at your skill level, you might be able to make that team just because there weren't 80 kids coming out to play on that one Brentwood basketball team.
Page.
Right?
Page Middle School has 100 kids trying out for the baseball team.
Right.
And some of those cuts, I'm like, that kid's a really good player.
They're good athletes, right? So you can't tell me, no, look, everybody knows you have to be able to skate to play hockey, right? But I think there are so many good athletes out there who get cut from the football team, cut from the basketball team, cut from the baseball team, that could be playing a sport like hockey, maybe not at the highest level, but they could learn. Kids children learn and adapt quickly.
Yeah.
Right. And if you're a good athlete, you can learn to skate.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. I think so.
One
too.
of the other questions I got from coaches was, there are no cuts in GNASH, right?
Mm-hmm.
There's scratches.
There can be cuts if it's a scholastic team.
Oh,
If
okay.
you're a co-op team, you're not allowed to cut anybody.
Okay.
So Centennial cut kids if they could have cut kids if they wanted to.
If they're a if they're a
that's a
scholastic
co-op.
team,
So Centennial.
No,
and
but a couple
independent.
years ago before, so they were just
they could cut.
They could cut.
They could
okay.
cut.
Yeah, now they're not because they have to go to
Right.
the.
Now there is if players do get cut, we have supplemental teams in GNASH. We have the Outlaws.
Yeah.
And they can go play for them.
Okay.
There is always a home at GNASH.
Well, up in New York, we had to take freshmen's cuts for JV. So we had Sachem. Sachem was the biggest high school out there in Long Island, and we had to end up taking their cuts. That when Paulie was on the show here, he was coaching with me. We had to take a freshman team's cuts to play JV, and it was just like wow. And some of those kids were still better than half of the JV kids because Sachem was like the biggest school in Long Island. I mean, it was massive. Now they've split it up to Sachem North and South, or North and West. I don't know what it is, but it was the biggest school in Long Island.
Well, we've had years where MBA had two teams.
Oh, really?
We had enough players on Brentwood and Raven. Back at A Game, I think one of the last years at A Game, we had a team called the Woods, and it was the players who'd been cut from Ravenwood and Brentwood created a team called the Woods, and they actually played together.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, very cool.
I'm sure they were probably good too because if they got cut, they're probably better than some of these other teams.
Exactly.
Oh boy, yeah, no, I see that a lot too. Especially, I think this week is tryouts for baseball with Paige, and a friend of mine's like, dude, there's 100 kids trying out for this baseball team. I'm
right.
Like, wow, that's a lot.
And look, and again, I don't want to sound like it's that easy, but the ability to either rollerblade or do something that play roller hockey and then take that into ice hockey. I mean, again, children can learn how to do a lot of things we can't do and just pick up at our age, right?
Yeah. Yeah, but in another way too is if parents want to spend that money.
Yeah,
like you said,
hockey's not a cheap sport.
It's an elitist sport. I've always said it. It's an elitist sport. They always say like hockey in Harlem with the Rangers. Oh, hockey in Harlem, and they put good grassroots in it. And hockey's not for everyone. No, it's not. Yeah, you can put a kid out there, let him run around with a plastic stick and play deck hockey or ball hockey. And that's not real hockey. I mean, the kid's having fun doing it, and that's great. But when he gets on the ice and he's falling down and everything, and it's not fun.
Right.
It's not fun for the kid. It's not fun for you as a parent going, I just dropped all this money and my kid can't even stand. So let's go play something else.
Well, it's hard to catch up too. Yeah. Like if you're not in it from an early age.
Yeah.
It is. But it also, I think it depends on the child too. I think if they really want to do something and.
Well, look at our last guest,
Katie Cummings.
Katie,
yeah.
she started at 12.
Ovechkin started at 10.
Yeah.
But, the reality is the money that it takes to keep going,
Right.
and you're going to have to play all year long like Katie said she did. And,
She caught up, and she's surpassed a lot of people, that's for sure. Spectacular athlete there. Spectacular.
Yeah, she's good on the social media, too.
I know. Thank you, Katie.
That actually brings me up to a question. I was looking into the, the broadcasters like MTSN or
right.
that broadcast the games.
Oh, do they? I don't even know that.
Is there any? But it's really just listening to it, like it's radio.
It's just radio.
There's no video. Are there any plans for allowing that for streaming options like Live Barn or?
We used to have Justin Bradford used to broadcast a lot of the games. I don't think he does it anymore, but we used to have live streaming of games, and I know some of the schools may do it just for their games.
Well, I tell you what, I know because some travel teams, they do it, like the Birmingham Bulls, they'll have like the little, picture of the kid showing up, he scored the goal. But I'm going to tell you, up in Long Island, my buddy Paulie again, we'll bring him up again, they have a channel, a YouTube channel, which they do have a guy that sits there and almost like Sports Center. Here's the game, and they show the highlights, and then they show the game itself. They have a guy that would announce the game sitting up on that perch with his computer and with the camera going back and forth. That is really, really cool. It's something that kids would love to hear. Like, hey, listen, I mean, that's insane.
Well, I think, too, if you look at the way high school is different than when we were in high school. A lot of the communications and telecommunications and audiovisual programs that a Centennial might have, they may have the equipment to go out and broadcast a game, and there may be students at Centennial that want to study that in college that would love to learn and cut their teeth in a high school environment, right? And do it in a very sophisticated manner.
That would be perfect.
Right?
I mean, it's also like, the kids are going to school, college, high school kids, hey, I want to be a broadcaster. I mean, this is perfect.
I mean, all you need is Wi-Fi and an iPhone. I know that a lot of
Look at us.
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
I mean, we might be willing to stream a game or two.
We could do that.
Playoff time.
Yeah.
That's one of the ideas here. This YOLO
that's
box.
There we go. The YOLO box.
But that gets me to a more serious thing. We could talk about Dallas, talk about the Preds and Centennial, but there's another aspect of rinks being taken over up north with the Black Bear Group. And one of the things they got in trouble for with their vertical integration is they wouldn't allow anybody to stream. And you had to go through the Black Bear
app or something.
was whatever video they set up, and they got into it, and they Live Barn sued them and stuff. But if you could have interested kids, and I think they would be, even more today than 5 years ago, with YouTube Live and all that, it wouldn't be that hard. But to protect that, to make it so that when the Preds do take over, there's not some rule about exclusive streaming rights. Is that something you've thought about, or something that you would be interested in?
No, I don't think GNASH would ever be opposed to either a school streaming their own games or a third party coming in to stream the GNASH games.
I see a light bulb going off on you. That's actually a pretty cool idea.
Like I said, I think it was Penalty Box Radio that used to broadcast our games. Justin Bradford would do the play-by-play. There would be a schedule that would get published, and they did a great job. But I don't think that's happening anymore.
I think you just got to protect it, is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Because there are forces that will try to control that. And there was a U.S. senator up in Connecticut who got into it with Black Bear, and he was just filming it. And they tried to say, no, you can film it. But it was so hardcore that they wouldn't even let you film your kid, let alone stream it on a broadcast. So that is a force that's out there. You've talked about your guy out in Vegas. And how people are taking over the Vegas rinks and making it so it's all in-house concessions, and the wine is from a place. Like, I think we got to be careful about people getting control exclusively of the rinks, and then what they might try and do ancillary to it, whether it's concessions or streaming or
I think the streaming thing is a great idea for the high school league.
Yeah, I do too.
It's just something to bolster it, to give more interest into it. I mean, it's a big interest already, GNASH, but how cool would that be? Hey, we're going to stream the game, and we got two guys sitting there, or two girls, or girl, a guy, whatever, and just announce the game. Have the rosters, and we sit there, and Johnson's coming down the wing, he shoots.
Yeah,
Go,
I don't know. Cool. I don't know why every school wouldn't want to do that and allow. I know when I was in high school, my senior year, a friend of mine and I didn't play basketball my senior year, but a friend of mine and I who played on the football team, we did play-by-play in color on the local radio station.
That's awesome.
Right? But we didn't have an iPhone. We didn't have, but today, I mean, literally you could have Centennial or BGA students just go out and through the school or independently broadcast the games, have a YouTube channel.
They could have a hype person.
Yeah.
They could have.
I think that'd be great.
It should be.
I'm literally sitting here going, I don't know why that doesn't happen.
Exactly. I know that. I mean, when I played football back, there was the Long Island Channel for high school sports. Walt Fowler was the guy, and he sat behind a desk and says, "Okay, here we go." And he would come running out and interview the kids after the game.
Right.
And it was great. They interviewed the coaches after the game. Yeah. That's something
you could do a pregame show, you could do a postgame show, you could do.
Let's get it going. Let's go, Kev.
You could do hype during the week. Getting ready for the game, leading up to the game,
and that could be a legitimate class.
Absolutely, you could get credit for it.
Yeah. Wow. I think we're hitting some here.
I mean, think about it. MTSU does all their games. UT does all their games. Kentucky, I'm sure they do all their games. And those are club teams.
Yeah.
Well,
with the high schools.
We should probably go and do the championship game.
You want to do
Predators
champion?
game.
Let's
We
do
should
that.
It's the end of February, you say?
Beer League should start broadcasting games.
Let's do it. We got to get the rosters too and everything like
Oh,
that.
we've got it. I've got some. Jack actually did some research.
Jack,
we got to give some
attaboy,
shout outs
Jack.
to some of these stat guides at some point. But where do you see GNASH going over the next couple of years? Particularly, people are interested with the Preds, and that's been finalized, and that's now a done deal. What do you hope to do and steward GNASH? Because we had the Dallas ladies on there. Shout out to Lisa and Kat.
Okay.
You guys are due for a podcast. But, you know, they had a different situation where the Stars kind of controlled high school hockey from the beginning. We are lucky and blessed that we've got a long heritage with GNASH, and it predates the Predators. What do you hope to see going forward? What are your goals for making sure that GNASH stays robust and that we got enough players and interest and stuff?
I mean, I would love for the league format to stay the same as far as the calendar is concerned. I just think if it ever, you know, is relegated to a spring league, I just think
You'd lose a lot of kids because they play other sports,
Yeah.
and that's what I would be real against that, because other kids, they play other sports.
Yeah.
Baseball, lacrosse, like you said.
Well, and I think something else happens too. I think, you know, the winter time and whether it's in, you know, December or January or February, just feels like hockey weather. I think that by the time March or April rolls around, you've got spring break,
Pitches and catches.
It doesn't feel the
Yeah.
same, right?
Pitches and
I mean, and to your point though, I just don't think you'd have the numbers. I think when you ask, do we have enough teams? I think what probably happens is you don't have enough teams, and then you start to create more of a back to the Metro Jets kind of. It's high school players playing hockey, but maybe not for their school.
Yeah. I love it. I mean, because again, you're a high school student, a high school player, athlete, you play for your school.
Yeah.
That's what it is. I mean,
what it's all about.
It's pride, baby. You know, that's what you always say. Let's get pride here.
I wish more schools would support it. I know they're pulled in a lot of different directions. I mean, let's face it, when the TSSAA allows TSSAA high school players to have NIL deals, those aren't your hockey players. Those are your football players and, you know, maybe your basketball players. But I really think that we as a league and maybe you as parents, where we could use your help, would be you advocating to BGA and you advocating to Centennial, to the athletic directors and the headmasters or principals. Come out and watch a game.
Yeah.
You know, get involved, get invested. You know, this is a good way. You know, NBA fully embraced hockey, and now, I mean, they've got a tremendous.
They got a great coach too. I mean,
they got a great hockey program.
is there ever a school that was against it?
I don't want to name names, but
You don't have to. No, that's all right. But I mean, that's kind of sad.
we do have a couple of teams that their school administrators have basically said, we will let you have a team, but we want nothing to do with that team.
Oh, that's sad.
Yeah.
Because it's a club, or they don't even want to be associated with it.
I think because it's not a true school sanctioned sport and a true school sanctioned team.
That's crap. Sorry.
I think
crap.
they just don't want to be bothered by it. I think it's more, they're afraid it's probably more time and involvement that they want to commit to it. But
Maybe they don't get the ticket sales. They don't get the gate.
true.
Yeah, that's true too.
True. Maybe there's an economic component to it.
Well, that's why you start a streaming network.
There we go.
And you charge
Greg, are you thinking what I'm thinking, Greg?
Right.
ads on it, and then you see which school gets the most views,
Right.
and who's the most followed anchor.
That's why Greg is the brains of this group, buddy. He's
Yeah.
the man. He's. I see him going. His mind's going.
Yeah.
Well, how long do you foresee yourself continuing to be on the board?
Uh-oh.
I mean,
Uh-oh.
because
You
said
put him
your
on the
older-
spot,
Your
Greg.
oldest son.
You put him on the spot.
Your
yeah.
oldest son is aged out, but it's good, I think, to have people that are a little bit removed but know, and
No vested interest.
exactly
No
they
vested
can be
interest.
neutral, they can be objective,
yeah.
and I think that's good for the process.
Yeah.
Yeah. If my wife's listening, no comment.
She's like, are you going again? Are you going again?
Well, Tammy got you to retire from
Yeah.
coaching
Yeah, and then she
for
threw
an off season.
off season. She threw me right back.
Well-
and she goes, "You should do it."
So I think this is the first maybe last year. Last year might have been the first year since I've been involved where every board member could truly be objective. Nobody had any children or any relative playing. I think we may have one board member this year that has a player playing.
The one board non-board member is one of them.
I do think we do have a really good. Well, of course, the board is the team representatives, right? They're the ones who really control.
Yeah.
So is there one per school?
One per school, and everybody gets one vote.
And they get to pick who their representative is?
They get to pick who their rep is.
There's 16, so what if there's a tie?
Either
goes to you?
the president or depending upon the situation, either the president or the commissioner casts the deciding vote. So
Really?
I do not like a quorum when it's an odd number.
Oh, that's got to be rough.
or when it's an even number. Yeah.
Oh, don't tell me that. Oh, that's rough.
But I think it is important that as many of the executive committee members be as objective. And when I say objective, they don't have players on teams because it's hard to be objective.
Not to want your kid's team to be, hey, no, we want them to play at 5 o'clock in the afternoon because traffic's not good there.
In fact, it's probably a little bit unfair to your son or daughter because if anything, you make them take the worst slot or whatever,
Yeah, it's
to avoid the appearance of impropriety.
I've done that. I've done stuff like that. Guess what? My kid's on the bench just because I don't want to hear a parent going,
the All-Star game.
Yeah, the All-Star game, right? But he was good at that one. He did good on that one. I got to say, Kevin, I got to get up and do something here because, you're the first guest that has brought a gift for us. We got crumble cookies. Oh, I got to get up here.
Take notes, guys.
I did stop and bring some crumble cookies, and I didn't want you guys to be hungry during the broadcast.
That's why you're the president. He's very savvy.
Thank you very much. We're going to show me.
And I hope you like the ones I picked out.
I like
yeah,
that one.
hey,
Right
there we go.
Crumble cookie. Here we go.
Oh, yeah.
I'm grabbing first because I'm that type of guy.
You're that
There's
kind
a
of guy.
football one.
There's they didn't have a hockey puck. I'm like, come on, where's the hockey puck?
If we want to do that, I got to grab the football.
Yeah.
Here we go. There's some good ones in there. That peanut butter one looks really good too.
It does look good, doesn't it?
I got to do this.
What you call dead air? You better say something.
I'm gonna eat some crumble cookie right now. This is excellent. Thank you so much, Kevin.
You're welcome.
I appreciate it.
You're welcome. Those are,
My God, that's good.
isn't that a good cookie?
Bite?
That's a good cookie. Not. I'm a pretty big crumble cookie.
Oh my
fan.
God, that is really good. Crumble cookie, get it? It's really, really good.
Well, I think you should stay on indefinitely.
Yeah.
There we go.
You got my support.
That's my. This is.
So
really
let me ask you
good.
this. Let me ask you guys. What are your expectations of your boys when it's their time to? Because they're 13 and 12. So what? 6th and 7th grade or 7th and
Beer league.
early beer league.
Early beer league.
Well, I think my goal has always been to get Jack to where he gets the experience of high school, and I think that is something special that maybe he's not gonna probably not gonna go to the NHL.
No, really?
But he will remember high school days,
Yeah.
and to play club hockey now in college, very difficult. You almost have to go to juniors to play club.
Yeah.
So high school hockey seems like a good place for people to have those lifelong memories, and I just want them to get the chance to do that. Now, I do think the way that today's youth sports industrial complex is set up, you have to do the travel work in order to compete, just at a varsity or a JV level. So I'm hoping that he can drive himself to practice, and then I can go watch him at games. Mm-hmm. That's what I'm hoping. But we'd love to have a good product where everybody feels like they're getting a good shot, and it's not lopsided, right? And it's a competitive.
I think that you're going to get it lopsided. You're going to get certain schools that their buddies played, like you said earlier, you get their buddies played together in AAA, and then they go, hey, let's go play high school, and just get smoked. And that happens in the GNASH.
Well, I mean, if you want to go back and let's look at the years 2017, 2018, and 2019. So you had Andrew Sennard, who played for Brentwood, who played on, he went to Miami of Ohio, played on their true D1 team. You had Lucas Bond, who played at Niagara. You had Jackson Sterrett, who played at UMass Lowell. You had Ben Schulteis, who played at Ferris State. You had Kyle Kawamura, who played at Maine. I mean,
you had also Thiessen.
You had
Thiessen.
I don't know that he played high school hockey.
I thought he did in Centennial. I know he went to Centennial.
I can't remember. I do know that, but during that period of time, I mean, there's a large number of players who played on their high school team and then ended up playing true Division I hockey. And so, you've got that player out there who goes to high school, goes to class with all these players, and then gets out there and skates with players who may be playing house league, right? But they're all wearing that Brentwood jersey, or they're all wearing that Centennial jersey, and you make the Letterman Club in high school, which is a big deal, right?
Well, I think to answer your question from Greg answered his side. My side is my kid just to have that experience, of youth of school sports.
Right.
School sports to me was everything. I was Al Bundy out there. I played football. We played baseball, played hockey, and it was always about the school. And it was always great, because you come in the next day and you won. You're like proud. They announce you over the speaker. Oh, Cadet Quad won over Sachem, 13-10, and whatever it is. A touchdown scored by, whatever. It was a pride thing.
Yeah.
It was a pride thing. And you go to school, and it's like almost like, hey, it's a fun atmosphere, and they'll always remember that. Hell, I still remember my stories. I mean, Sean made fun of me. Sean Henry made fun of me because I played against his high school at one time. He goes, cool. That's why I got Al Bundy. He called me Al Bundy. But that's what it is. It's a pride thing, and I want my kid to have that same feeling.
Absolutely.
Not because I want him to, but it's actually a really cool thing to have school pride.
Oh, absolutely.
Take pride in what you have.
And so my boys, like I said, from the time they were 4, they all just wanted to play hockey. But I made them play another team sport every season through their freshman year.
And that's part of our maxim is 2 sports, right?
2 sports.
Yeah. 2 sports.
So like I made them play, football through freshman, a spring sport through their freshman year. Just to understand what it was like to be on a baseball team, be on a football team, be on a basketball team. But they always gravitated back to hockey. But what if you only want to play hockey, or you're not going to make another, team, a different sport? You want to play hockey for your high school and for your friends to be able to come out and watch you play hockey for your high school. Mm-hmm. It's hard to get a friend to come watch you play a travel game. It's easy to get your friend to come watch you play a high school game.
We get it all the time. Like some of the kids on his baseball team, like, hey, when's your game? We want to come down and watch a hockey game because hockey's exciting.
Right.
Baseball games, you're like, okay, sun's hot. It's really boring. It's hot. I love baseball. Doesn't matter. But even like a football game too. Yeah. If you I want to go watch a kid play football or basketball. That's something, and it's just, again, your friends want to come see you do these things.
Well, and you want your teachers to be able to come see you play. Teachers don't go to travel hockey games, but a teacher might come to. I can remember when my oldest son Sean he had a music teacher named Mrs. Jewell, and she was probably in her 50s at the time or 60s. And I can remember being at Centennial and her just banging on the glass as hard as she could. And
it was you.
And security had to come tell her to sit down. And I'm like, you're asking the music teacher to come sit down because she's banging on the glass too hard.
You remember that forever.
That's it, yeah.
But when you're a travel hockey player at a school, at a high school, a lot of times it's hard for you to have an identity at the school.
Bingo.
Right? This gives you an identity at the school, and it gives you cachet, man. It gives you swag if you're on the – because think about some of the cool stuff hockey players wear, like, the hoodies and the jersey. Let me tell you something. I played all the sports. There is nothing more cool than a hockey jersey. There's nothing more cool than a hockey jersey, right?
I usually wear hockey jerseys.
Or a sweater, a hockey sweater, right?
Sweater, that's exactly what it is.
I mean, everybody wants to wear a sweater.
Oh, yeah. And I think the whole thing of pride. And I mean, that's just awesome. Like you said, the teachers show up. You got something to talk about in school. Oh yeah, this kid plays for the Flyers. Well, who else plays for the Flyers? Maybe 2 other people. Maybe.
Right? What if you're
Or if you play for the junior Preds, oh, we played against you or whatever. That's it. And two people,
Right.
other kids are looking and going, what the hell is this guy's talking about? We didn't
Right.
play, got nothing about that.
Right.
Yeah, we go to Centennial. What'd you do that for? But I don't know. But what I wanted for my son is to have that experience, and that's like what Greg was saying. Have that experience of playing hockey, playing baseball, playing whatever, badminton. Even though, let them talk about it at school. Bring it back in school. Let them talk about because that's their life right now. Your school is your life. That is their lives right now. They go to school, 75% of the year, and that's who they're standing. Now it's the time. Travel. They see our travel kids 3 times a week.
Right.
In school, they see them more. They see 5, 6 times, depending on what sport they play. All the time. So.
Well, like you said, it's the reputation you kind of develop as being a hockey player for your school that gives you an identity at your school. I just think I would hate to see that again. I'd hate to see it relegated. I would hate to see it diminished.
I get it. So, what can you do more for this to explode and be something? Not to say it's not like Minnesota. Minnesota hockey, high school hockey is insane. What could you do on your side, on the GNASH and on the board? What some of the ideas? I mean, actually, Greg came up with a great one with the video.
Right.
What other stuff could you do? I mean, is there I think there's a website too. I know there's a Facebook website. What else would engage younger players to get involved? I mean, what would you do?
I mean, we've talked about this internally. Do we want to try to, actively promote just the league within the high schools? Maybe do, if there's an event fair, maybe you have people from the board or the team reps and team managers. Because remember, a lot of this, when you think about the executive board's got 8, maybe 9 members. But then you have 16 representatives.
The school's got to buy in.
School's got to buy in,
in.
and it's a parent-driven thing. We don't have a lot of extra resources monetarily because we typically run a pretty thin budget. ICE officials, whatever.
I mean, I know they have really cool stuff too. They put the jerseys up in the top.
Put the jerseys
up in the Preds.
In Bridgestone.
In Bridgestone.
Right.
Is there something that, get with the Preds, get with Sean or something? Hey, push it even more so, but would they decide that they would want to do it during spring? And that's a whole another thing. How would they get involved? How can even somebody else in the community get involved in this?
Well, I mean, it is the Predator Cup, right?
Yeah.
It is the GNASH Cup. I mean, it is. I mean, the Predators' name is all over high school hockey, and it has been since they got here. I think that when I say ground roots, because you're asking about Centennial and BGA, what can you guys do? It really is. It's ground roots. Mm-hmm. Now, what can we do as a league? We have some programs for players who want to maybe be a goalie. We have some players who want to come and skate. We do some of those things. But when it comes to the high school brand, I don't know. I don't know that I really have a.
Well, it's kind of cool because I know when my son and he went to Liberty Elementary School, and they did a thing called the Stillings Cup. One of the teachers was the Stillings, and she loved hockey. So they did Mrs. Stillings, so they call it the Stillings Cup. And they had all the grades with the kids would be, not the grades, but 4th grade was the big Stillings Cup. The whole school was there. They were all cheering them on. And they had the two classes, whatever, the 2 best classes were there, and they went to the finals. So it was a really cool thing that they did, the Stillings Cup at Liberty Elementary School.
Well, I'll tell you, and now that we're talking about it, I think that one thing that would probably help would be if, I think every high school now pretty much requires students to do some kind of community service project or community. I mean, if I were a senior or junior at Centennial, I might grab 4 or 5 players and go to a feeder school, go to a middle school, wear your hockey jersey, go visit some kids at lunch, sit down, have lunch with them, play some, shinny hockey with them, in the cafeteria or whatever. I think culturally, if you can get some of the elementary school students and some of the middle school students to even recognize the high school has a team. Here's what the jersey looks like.
Yeah.
Here's who these players are. They're real. They're tangible. And get them to come out to some games.
Yeah.
Right?
That's actually a great idea.
What year did your son enter the BGA system?
About 4 years ago, 5 years ago.
Okay.
Right around 2021.
Did you guys ever go to a BGA Franklin game when they were co-oping together?
No, we didn't actually. We weren't thinking that far ahead,
Right.
to be honest with you.
Right.
We were going to Preds games. I
Right.
mean, it'd be nice if the Preds went on a big run here.
Right. But I think, what if some of the BGA upperclassmen had come and, had lunch with your son when he was in
Yeah.
fourth grade and invited them to come out to a game? I think that's one of the things that might be lacking is getting some of the younger students interested and involved early.
You take that AV club with them too,
Mm-hmm.
and make some sort of little video of what they're doing, giving back and stuff like that. That's interesting. But Barry Trotz, that was the big news, right?
That was the big news.
I was surprised to see that today, but I guess it's something that everybody kind of wanted to make it the best way to go out. It's just strange timing, but it's exciting with Nick Saban getting involved, and
He's on the search committee, right?
Yeah, there's some.
So this is not. I mean, Barry's going to stick around until they find a successor, right?
Well, he's going to finish out the season.
Okay.
But they're encouraging young Poyle and folks to try out, but they've got some, or to interview, but they've got some committee that they've put together, which is very interesting because the Preds just started kind of getting their legs under them.
They're playing well. I mean, they're in contention, right?
I will take some credit for it. We went up and we saw Sean Henry back in December. I think it was December 2nd, and they were struggling, right? We were playing the Vancouver Canucks. We were playing the Flames, and they were the worst team, and we had crawled up to second worst. And then we did our beer league episode, and ever since that time, we've,
Well, here's the thing.
We went on a heater, and now we're just outside the wild card.
We're about to. Well, here's the thing. It is interesting timing because of the point that we're at in the season, right? And so, what if we make the playoffs? What if we make a run in the playoffs, right? And you sit there and you go, when I was watching the World Junior Games a few weeks ago, I think we had more players
Yes.
in the World, which I'm assuming Barry drafted all those kids.
Well, I listened to the press conference today about it, and they were talking about they had the most. Sean was saying that had the most between them and one other team had the most players in the World Juniors, and I'm gonna throw this out there. My buddy up in Long Island, Joe Baggs, he's a big Islander fan. He's like, well, that may help them try to get Stamkos, and he's been talking up there. Oh, I'm gonna get Stamkos. I'm like, just shut up, just shut up, Joe.
He's been playing well.
He's been playing great.
Yeah.
Honestly, like Greg was just saying, I think he should thank the Beer League podcast because they've been on a massive roll. Massive roll since we were there. I mean, what's the record? Do you have an exact number? But I mean,
really good.
Yeah, really good.
Really good compared to really bad before we went up
and
there.
Then the Rangers got really, really bad. Speaking of being a Ranger fan here, so that's for sure.
I believe they won didn't they win their outdoor game?
Yeah, they won it, but yeah. That and the quarter will get him a phone call. But no, but Drury. Oh God, don't get me started on Chris Drury, that's for sure. But yeah, no, it's sad a little bit, I guess, to see Trotz step down. But there may be more to it. I gotta be honest, there may be more to it. I don't know what it is, but there's got to be something more to it. I don't know. Was he successful about getting all these players? No. He wasn't. Let's be honest. Let's call it out. He went out and tried to get top players, and it didn't work. It's starting to work now. Maybe because they realize, they go, well, we're going to get out of Nashville. We're going to be traded. And wait a second, I don't want to leave Nashville. It's a great city.
Right.
So now they're clicking. The Marshall show. Hey, listen, he's got his kid playing in the AAA. Hey, listen,
right.
And he's one of the coaches. He's one of the coaches on the AAA. Hey, listen, how's that going to look?
I'm sure he's got a lot of time.
Yeah.
To show up. those league plays and those away games.
A tremendous amount. Tremendous amount.
He might show up at one of them.
Maybe he realizes.
Did
he
you
goes,
see we saw Clark Lee this weekend?
Yeah, you saw Clark Lee
in Birmingham.
Oh, really?
Yeah, his
What
son.
was he doing down there?
His son plays on the junior Preds team, and I had no idea. Somebody was like, "This is Clark Lee." I'm like, what's he doing here?
His son plays junior Preds.
Obviously, he's playing for the Junior Predators. But that was kind of cool, and his son did. Do like a cross check on Jack. Jack drew a penalty from. I thought that was Jack. I was like, that was him. Like, yeah.
You did some good TikToks. I do like it. You like the TikToks from the penalty box.
Yeah, those were fun.
I was going to do that, but you bid it, and I'm like, nope, that's all yours. That's yours.
We got to give you the mic here for next weekend. We'll pass the mic,
Well,
but
hey, speaking of how about Hudson Loesch? Former BGA.
Oh yeah.
Former BGA.
Yes.
He played high school hockey for BGA, and now he's playing in that All-American game, USA Hockey All-American game. Got to continue take him. Have him come back to BGA.
there you go.
Wear his BGA jersey.
Yeah, stir it up. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, we've got 1 year to do it. 1 year and 1 day.
Yeah.
Sounds
Yeah.
like. So we'll get going. But I did want to read out some of these stats here. Some of these leaders here. It's been a
great.
good season. Gage Hart right now is at the top. At Father Ryan, they got a good program. They got Sean's son.
Stephen
coaching.
Henry. Stephen's a good coach.
26 goals he's had.
He's the league leader.
Yeah, so he's.
You must be really good then. Wow.
What's that? 1.2 goals a game or something, or 1.3? That's a lot. Keaton Moffitt over at Ravenwood with 22 goals. That's pretty strong. Ravenwood's pretty deep here. And then you got Josh Kuhn, I think. He's an outlaw with 20 goals.
Okay.
Now, the thing about him is he was also at the top of the penalty minutes, but he's been surpassed. But he's
part of Three Boys. His older brother, Caleb, plays at UT with my son, and then he's got a younger brother who plays junior Preds. So.
Yeah, he's going to make you pay. Vicious forecheck. But here's what I thought was interesting. Ravenwood, top 3 with apples. Assist leaders. You got Keaton Moffitt again with 19. Then you got Jake Farrell with 18. And Brady Friedman with 17. So Ravenwood is sweeping.
That's
the
why they
assists.
finished number 1.
Yeah. What's that record?
Their record, I think, is 16 and.
How's Centennial doing? Not good.
So Ravenwood's 11-3 with one tie. MBA's coming in second here with 9-3. Franklin's doing well, 9-3. Page Summit, Hendersonville, Beach, Lawson, and then you got the Ensworth, Lipscomb, CPA, sort of rounding out Nolansville and Father Ryan. But
Keep going.
I didn't hear Centennial. Can you go down?
Keep going.
Can you get a
Keep
little
going on
lower?
Centennial.
Can you get a little lower?
Come on.
Independence and Centennial at 4-8-2. All right,
All
I'm
right.
just gonna
All
spare
right.
'em.
There we go.
So there's some room for improvement.
We got 4 wins. We're good. All right.
But
I
yeah.
do like that uniforms, that jerseys, and the colors. I like that.
You picked up a win a month,
I
right?
did. Yeah.
Here's
exactly.
a fun one: the penalty minute leaders. All right,
Oh, here we go.
Owen Brought.
You know him.
Independence Centennial is 74 minutes.
Attaboy. In what,
He's
10
leading.
games?
Yeah, he's really logging that time. And Anthony Giampalo with the Mount Juliet Wilson Central Lebanon out there in the east with 69 minutes. And then I like these two guys. This is a tie for third. This is the law firm Murphy and Munyon. Okay, 64 minutes, both at
firm.
Franklin. Aiden Murphy and Michael Munyon.
Oh, that's hilarious.
64 minutes. Like, I don't know if they're like tag team. They're
They're
going in there
defensemen.
together.
They're
And they
definitely
get
defensemen.
double minors everywhere.
That's
But yeah,
funny.
you better watch out
How
for
about
them.
the goalies? Let me see some
So
goalies.
the goalies, we got Franklin with Teague Spencer at a .937 save percentage. Bingston Sondara at Nolansville, 9.2.
9.2.
And then Theodore Kapinek, Father Ryan, at 9.13. So
There you go. Some good
some
save
pretty good
percentage. That's
numbers
Some good
there.
numbers right there.
I think Bing was the championship game MVP last year. If I'm
Really?
not mistaken. Yeah, it's pretty
Oh.
good. I think is he a senior finally? I think he's
Yeah.
been. He's a long time.
Well, if anybody knows the goalies, this guy does.
Yeah,
He's the goalie
used to play
guru,
goalie.
right?
Used to play goalie. Not anymore. Back in the day.
Yeah.
I do think your coach. I think Centennial's coach might be on the board.
Oh, is he?
Mark Lane.
Okay. No, I don't know him. I have no idea. All right, so if he's on the board, that's good. Then Centennial still have a team.
Well, hey, we're doing middle school hockey's about to start up.
And you did that
We're on
again
the
this year, right?
Independence team, right?
You did it this year.
Yeah, so we're going to scout it out.
Great
We'll
coaches
get
you
some
got.
good-
You got some great coaches. You got Dana and you got Bruce. Great coaches. I'd like to get them on the podcast too.
We'll reach out to those
They're
guys.
great guys. Dana's from Boston. Sorry to hear about that, Dana. And Bruce is a great dude. He's a great guy. He used to coach the Gulls AAA team up in Long Island, so he's a hell of a coach. And Dana, you look at him and go, that guy's not a hockey player, but he's one hell of a hockey player. He's got great hands. He's just like,
Yeah.
he's good. You know Dana, Ben too?
No.
He's always at the Perini's shop there too. Big guy, big beard too. Good, real good dude. But other than that, hey, listen, I'm excited for this hockey. This year we didn't sign up for middle school hockey because last year we missed a lot because he had baseball. So he's playing school baseball, travel baseball, and hockey. And it's just a lot, so we needed to take something off his plate this year. I'm like, no, we're not going to do middle school hockey, and I kind of felt bad.
That's
for
smart.
him.
Well, you're
Yeah.
the coach, so you
Yeah.
got to prioritize
Well,
there.
if you get a chance, come out and watch some of the playoff games. The playoffs get pretty intense.
Oh, yeah.
And of course, the closer it gets to the championship game, the more intense the games get. Score gets closer, the crowds get larger,
More and more police presence.
more and more police presence.
I was there a couple years ago.
I was at Centennial tonight. We had 2 security guards at Centennial tonight.
Oh, boy.
We do a pretty good job.
Well, I think we may have to do a little
yeah.
podcast from it. It would be pretty cool.
You guys ever done play-by-play in color?
We can wing it.
Yeah, we can do. We haven't done it yet, but we got the.
You should.
We got the
gear.
skills to do it, right? We got the gear, and we got the skills. We can't curse though. What'd you mess up?
Listen, there are no FCC violations where you're just streaming on Instagram.
All right.
Right? You can say whatever you want.
Maybe a parent would come up and hit me with something like,
Although we do, but you're not technically part of GNASH, so
Yeah.
you don't have
We're freelancers.
you don't
until
have to adhere to our
get the
code of
exclusive
conduct.
rights.
I love it.
Did you sign a code of conduct form?
Well, this is usually where we give our guests a chance to sound off.
Oh,
Or
great.
get off my lawn.
I still got to say these crumble cookies are outstanding. Thank you so much.
pretty good.
It's like a brownie.
Yeah,
I'm excited. Sorry,
it should be illegal.
it was really good. I'm going to be up for like hours with all the amount of sugar I just pounded right now.
So this is the Get Off My Lawn Studios in the house that Dyson built.
Oh yeah, Kevin.
Kevin Dyson,
Uh-huh.
Centennial.
So if you miss, you go to grab your drink and you miss by a yard, that's why.
Oh,
Yeah.
So he lived. This was his home back in those
Yeah,
days.
see, he's right there. See, Kev. But he is a Music City miracle. So he was supposed to come on the show, but something happened. We got we're still
He's
we're still in the works with him coming in.
Yeah,
But,
he's
he
gonna
was
have some
Centennial
good
High School.
football talk on
Yes.
that. But yeah, this is the house that Dyson built, and so he's going to come home soon here. But we like to give you the option of who are you going to tell to get off your lawn, all right, and who are you going to have a cup of coffee with,
Or beer, or smoke
man.
a cigar. With
I do like a good cigar.
There you go,
I do
see?
like a good cigar.
So this is meant to be a tough decision, but the first one is just kind of fresh off the presses from that goalie fight last night, right? You got Swayman and Vasilevsky, all right.
Oh man, yep.
Interesting.
So who do you want to have a cigar with, and who the hell do you want? Get off my lawn! Get out of here!
Do I have to pick between Swayman and Vasilevsky?
That's it. You got two
Ooh.
choices.
That's it.
I'll tell Swayman to get off my lawn, and I'll have a beer with Vasilevsky.
Now why?
Anybody with the last name Vasilevsky has to have some interesting stories.
It's true, and he's a better goalie.
Yeah.
He is a better goalie. So Swayman, get out of
Swayman's
here.
on the come up, but
Yeah, well,
Vasilevsky's got the Vezina.
He's the Vezinas and Stanley Cups, and you know
like-
what? He's probably a little bit more interesting to talk about. That's for
like
sure.
Tampa.
And he actually won in the fight.
Well, that takes us into Canadian hockey or Russian hockey. Which one are you telling to get off your lawn?
I'm telling Canadian hockey to get off my lawn.
All right. See, yeah, I'm with that.
And I'm gonna have a cigar with Russian hockey because they need to be back in the Olympics.
Damn right.
There is no way you can keep those guys out of the Olympics.
Damn right. You're 100% right. I said
Right.
that to him earlier today. I go, this is one. It's just because they are the best athletes. Too.
Absolutely.
They would beat a lot of them.
Well, you're penalizing the fan.
Correct.
Penalizing the fan and the players, but mainly me, the fan, because I want to watch them and I want to see Ovechkin in the Olympics one last time.
And you have Vasilevsky too, goalie.
Yeah.
Well, they got to complete the arena, right?
Well, yeah.
So we were thinking about going to Italy to see some games, but we decided not to. And could you imagine if that was your plan and you go over there and they're like,
No hockey.
I think they've got it fixed though. Didn't I read where they've got it fixed?
They can play in Centennial.
it's pretty close, or Nolansville.
Gary Force.
Gary Force.
They're at
There we
Gary
go.
Force.
We'll pack him in there.
So this is I don't know if it's a deep cut. Sometimes Coach Seth has these names that he knows real well. Maybe you'll know
goodness.
this. This is Chris Drury or Jim Rutherford, the GMs of the Rangers
and the
Penguins.
Ooh.
Drury is the Rangers one GM, and Rutherford is that decrepit old franchise that kept those guys together.
Okay. I will tell Chris Drury to get off my
Thank you.
lawn.
Thank you very much.
And I'll have a cigar with Rutherford.
You know what? I couldn't agree with you more on that because Drury is completely destroying the New York Rangers.
Yeah.
For the last 3 years, it's so hard to watch that team.
Right.
It's so bad. At least Rutherford goes, you know what? You know, Crosby, you could do whatever you want.
Yeah.
You know, you won some Stanley Cups. Let it just go. Drury hasn't done nothing. He's done absolutely nothing. He took a team that was close to being a Stanley Cup and he destroyed it.
Yeah.
Destroyed it. Ah.
All right, this next one maybe is more in your wheelhouse here. We got the Pro Bowl.
Ooh.
That was something. Sanders or Flacco?
How did Shedeur Sanders make
There
the
you
Pro
go.
Bowl?
There you go.
Please, somebody explain this to me.
Over who's the Jacksonville Jaguars quarterback?
Oh,
Trevor.
Trevor Lawrence.
He made it over Trevor Lawrence.
Sunshine
Oh, my
had
goodness.
his best season, I thought.
Who? I mean, well, first of all, you look at that and go, how is he even? I mean, look, I got nothing against Shedeur Sanders. I love Dion, but just what he played like 3 games. I mean,
I think it's been explained to me that nobody cares about the Pro Bowl because it's no longer in Hawaii. I mean, they wanted to not play it and then they made it flag.
yeah.
It's so bad.
I like the dodgeball. That's a little bit. That's fun for 5 minutes.
Are you guys old enough to remember when they used to have Battle of the Network Stars?
Yes. Yes, I am.
That's what I want to see. I want to see these guys doing.
Jumping over carrying themselves up the rope
That's
and everything.
right.
Yes, Battle of the Network Stars.
Or do you remember when the I've been watching all these old clips on YouTube. It'd be like Dan Marino and John Elway seeing
Throwing a
who
ball
could throw the ball
in the circle.
Yeah.
Yes, absolutely. I remember
That's
Trent
what
Dilfer was on there. Like,
that's
Trent
what I-
Dilfer, you suck.
Yeah, I hate that guy. Trent Dilfer
Trent
sucks.
Dilfer, he's terrible.
Quarterback, too.
I'm a Buccaneers fan, so I can say that. And that guy, he killed me. So, oh boy,
He's a Nashville guy now.
I know he is. Well,
what do
did
you
he move
say?
down? Or what do I say?
Sanders or Flacco?
Oh, get rid of everything. Everything gets off my lawn. I want no part of any of that. The Pro Bowl has gotten to be so bad.
It's funny. I'll tell the Pro Bowl to get off my lawn, and I will ask Shedeur to bring me a watch when I give him a cigar, and I'll wear that bling on my wrist.
You know what? Shedeur's kind of cool. You know,
know.
like, what did he really do? Yeah, he's really not paying attention during the draft. He's like, yeah, I'm going to go whatever. Uh-oh. That's my rant. Now, speaking about this, that's really loud on this rant today. This is really Seth's rant
That's
right
hilarious.
up there. My rant today, since we're talking still about football, I'm talking about the New York Jets. How bad of it? That's your team? Well,
my
guess
team.
what? Woody Johnson's a moron. You know what? That guy is
And his sons.
And his sons.
And his sons.
Absolutely. You know, that guy. Look, it's so sad that you had Donald drafted third pick overall, And then a couple years later, no, we need Zach Taylor. What is
Zach Wilson.
Zach, whatever, Taylor, I don't care. Zach Garbage, that's what he is. All right, how about that? We need him because you know why? Because a guy like Mel Kiper says you need to draft another quarterback because you got to reset the cap. No, you don't. Get the guy some big uglies up front. Let him do what he did. And guess what? The guy's a Super Bowl quarterback right now. He's one hell of a quarterback. I said that from day one. Get the guy some help. Nope. They won't do it. They just go ahead and get him. And now Zach Wilson. This guy played in BYU. He didn't even do anything in the big city, and he got abused in New York. You know what? Woody Johnson, you are terrible. You are just getting rid of the franchise. My buddy up there in New York, Joe Baggs, hates Woody Johnson. He just can't wait till they sell that team because he is so bad. And like you said, his sons, because he didn't like the wide receiver. It wasn't high enough in Madden rating, so we shouldn't hire that. We shouldn't get him. You remember that, right? So you're a Jet fan then, huh?
Jets fan. Grew up a Jets fan.
Oh,
yeah.
I'm so sorry. Oh, my God.
It's hard, but you know what? The thing about the Jets is maybe we could use their coach. Maybe Nashville.
Well, I think we got him,
football
don't
scene.
we?
Yeah. Well, he's a good coach.
Yeah.
Sal is a good coach.
So what we're doing now is we're taking some leftover New Yorkers.
Yes, you are.
We're bringing them down to Nashville.
Yeah.
Dabo's a good coach too, man. He's a good coach.
I mean,
Sal,
what could go wrong with some New Yorkers coming down to Nashville?
What? Exactly, right?
I'm actually cautiously optimistic about it because it's been so bad for so long that it's almost like how can you be a Titans fan?
It's Greg's rant. Go, Greg, go.
Amy Adam Strunk is just running this organization into the ground. You talk about Kevin Dyson. It started at the top, and now we're here. Right?
I love it.
This is ridiculous. And you got Vrabel's about to, he's probably going to lose the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
I mean, but he might not. He might not. He might actually pull off a win. And if he does.
Wow. I hope he does. I really do.
So, yeah, the Jets. That's our great hope. We're hoping that the Jets are so bad that they will run down a good coach.
I caught a nerve with him. I love it. Thank you, Greg. Thank you for jumping on this rant.
This is a joint rant.
This is a joint rant. Kev, get in there. Start yelling about the Jets, too. Come on.
Oh, there's nothing better than those green and white uniforms, and they're just being sullied by, Wilson and his sons. I mean, seriously, is there anything better than those green and whites, the old school?
The old school one.
Oh, man.
Did you see the TikTok video of the kid walking up going, I just hate this team? That's a friend of ours.
Seriously?
Nephew. I swear to God, it's the funniest thing. They're like, he's all over the network going, I just hate this team.
Yeah. Well, it's like, Matt, quarterback for the Rams, Matt Stafford. He went into the locker room after they lost, and he was like, "Are you kidding? The easiest game's going to be the next game for the Super Bowl, and we're not even going to get there." And that's kind of like the Titans when they lost to the Ravens, when the Ravens upset them, and all they had to do was beat Kerry Collins and the Giants.
Yeah,
Giant team. You have a window of opportunity, and when you miss it, it's gone.
Oh boy! Listen, well, Kev, I want to say thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome.
I want to say thank you for coming on the podcast. Thank you
You're
for
welcome.
the crumble cookies because they were really, really good. That when I tore it up. Thank you for coming down here.
Thank you.
For your time. I know we were trying to jockey things, and I'm glad that everything works out with your house now.
Thank you.
That's
8
huge.
days was a long time.
Yeah, I can imagine.
It's funny. I kind of look like you before. I mean, I tried.
Shaved.
Well, I tried to. It's funny. I told my wife, I'm like, it just, it doesn't fill in the way yours does, right? And so she said, "Yeah, you look a little homeless." And I'm like, "I'm going to shave."
So what are you saying, Kevin?
No, you look. I don't have as much. Mine doesn't fill in the way yours does.
I'm homeless now. I'm in trouble.
But it's a good kind of homeless.
Thank you, bud.
Yeah.
Thank you very much. Kevin, I want to say thanks, man.
Thank you very
I appreciate
much.
you coming down,
Yeah,
the laughs,
this is-
and this is what it's about.
This is awesome, man. I mean, whoever you guys ask next, it's a fun time.
Thanks, man. It is a fun time, and it's all because of Greg here. Greg is the brains of the group here, and Greg has been the spearheading this thing. I got to say it too.
You're too kind.
I know
You're too kind.
No, you've
It's
been
a
the man.
team effort, right?
All right.
It's like the Jets and
Where
the
are you
Giants.
from? Where did you grow up?
I grew up in Gallatin, but I was born in South Jersey. And this guy looks down on me because he's from New York, and they always look down on New Jersey.
How did you guys meet?
Exactly what about youth sports. So this how it all
lab.
started.
No way.
The lab. The lab. Our kids played hockey together.
Okay.
And that's why this all happened. We all sitting here together, talk about youth sports and how crazy it is and how expensive everything is. It's what is it, a 40? Is it more now? I think it's more than 40 billion.
$41 billion industry.
$41 billion industry, and how crazy it is and how much we put our time in. And basically, we became great friends through our kids' sports.
Right.
You know, and everybody on the show that comes in has something to do with youth sports. So that's what it's about, from hockey, basketball, baseball, whatever. So right now we're still in hockey season.
Well, I was looking through your roster. So, obviously Sean Henry, Frank Wright, known him a long time. Tom Murphy, known him a long time. Patrick Murray, wasn't he on? Yeah, and that's funny.
That's a great episode.
Yeah.
He and I, he doesn't know it, but he and I have a connection that I need to reach out to him about. Yeah.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah, I've never met him, but
Great guy.
Yeah.
Great guy. He was like one of the first people that my kid was coached by.
yeah.
It was him, Allie, and Tom Murphy. So, yeah.
It's
but
a
Yeah,
small community, man.
It is
But
it
this-
is a very, very
this is-
small
We're
community.
bringing them together. We're trying to unite the clans and be the hockey forum and
Yeah.
keep them honest.
You know what?
and have some fun
listen,
at the same time.
It's a small sandbox,
Yeah.
and everyone should be playing in the same sandbox. No one's better than the other, regardless of what it is, and we all end up, our kids will all end up in beer league.
That's right.
So don't care how good your kid is now. I'll play beer league against them later on.
JP plays beer league.
Exactly. Everything leads to beer league, even professionals.
NHL leads to beer league.
Exactly.
It really does.
I know. It's just a little bit longer, but you still end up in beer league. Every path leads to beer league, and that's why we call this the Beer League podcast.
I love it. I love it.
Again, Kevin, thank you
Thank
so
you very
much for
much. I
everything. Thanks for
appreciate
your
it.
time. Enjoyed every moment of it. Looking forward to coming down to some playoff games. Maybe we come down there. Greg, what do you think?
Yeah, let's go.
Bring
Let's
the
do it.
Let's
setup.
go.
Let's
all
do
you,
it.
all you need is an iPhone, some
Oh yeah.
headsets, and
One
some
last
mics,
thing
yeah.
here.
Uh-oh.
I'm gonna pass the torch on the mic here.
What are we doing?
But also,
What do we got here?
gotta have a gift.
Yeah, well, you can't have the mic. You can't have the mic gift, but what? The mic's not working. My mic's not working.
Hey,
Whoa, he's going down.
Let's see,
Awesome.
We got green. We got blue. I think. We're
I like
running
green.
out, right?
Yeah,
I
we're
like-
running out. We're getting some merch
like
coming in.
green.
You got the green.
I like green. How about that?
There you go, Kevin. So you brought gifts. You
I
got
some
gifts now.
swag.
Thank you so much for
All
swag.
right. Nice.
We got the beer league. Here, you got to hold this now. I got to hold that.
All right,
Look
there we
at the
go.
picture. Look at that. Beer league. Get
We
some
got the
pictures.
beer league swag.
Yeah.
There it is.
All right.
Nice.
Don't you abuse that mic next
Yeah.
weekend.
Oh yeah, that's
all
right.
right?
I got to take this mic next.
Yeah,
week.
you got to
Yes,
take
that's
that
right.
and
Wait,
do
did
some
Tom-
penalty box work.
Did Tom Murphy hold that mic?
I don't know. Did he? No, he might. No, I don't think he did. He was all.
No,
jittery
that's
and
the
overseas.
on the road mic.
Yeah, this is the on the road mic. So it's got a little plastic thing you stick into your phone. So when we do interviews,
Oh, you're kidding. So it actually.
Oh, yeah.
That's a
Oh, you,
legit
so you got to
mic.
follow us on TikTok if you haven't. The party's on TikTok. It's Beer League Live. TikTok
and-
YouTube, and Instagram. Follow us on
we can
all
get
three.
We got Instagram going.
Yeah, we're
Look at
building
him.
it
He's
from
all good.
scratch.
And then we got a website going. Sarah, we got to get you.
BeerLeagueLive.com.
Yeah.
And
gonna
we
get
got a big merch
Big
announcement
order.
coming
Yeah, we
out.
got some big merch coming up, and hopefully we got some cool new guests coming up here too in the future.
And then we'll be at the Wish Cup.
yes, we will. At the
So-
Wish Cup, what they're doing over there, they're getting rid of the ice at Ford Ice Center, and they're going to be doing some. We're going to be talking over there, and they're going to do a big roller hockey with one of our guests, Colby. They're right now they're in California doing their big Wish Cup out there, and it's for a great cause. And please follow them too, Wish Cup. Other than that, guys, thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Greg, always a pleasure.